Why, hello, and welcome back, you lovable internet tramps, to another exciting day of Let's Playing Avendar. Well, exciting may be relative, depending on how much more of Jasa Lake we need to explore. Last we left off, we had gone and found a vacation home, and done our best to explore it in its entirety, including the lake and the lake bottom, which I believe we can get to on the map here, where we discovered a hideous cave filled with evil eels that would try to electrocute us. I think on the agenda today is just to clean up this last bit on the southern half of Jasa Lake and get on out of here and find something a little more exciting to do. I enjoyed our time at Jasa Lake, but it's time for some real adventure. So, I believe we discovered by casting wings, we not only have the ability to go up and down, but we also only spend one movement square to go anywhere. So, we're going to make liberal use of our wings. What? There's totally a blue jay here. Oh. Welcome to Avendar, where spelling counts. Oh, of course, we need to read the news of Avendar today. Currently in Avendar, there are 14 frogs. Not if we have anything to say about it. Avnar has reached level 25 in his guild. Congratulations, Avnar. Hosmith has died recently. F. And a curious obelisk can be found in the Yagash Mountains near the mines of Gogoth. I feel like we've heard that one before. Okay, looks like we were successful in our attempt to kill a rabbit, which I would really hope we would be. None of these guys are dropping any food, though, but that's fine. We're probably okay. And if you're wondering why we are killing rabbits and other woodland creatures, it literally is just for the food. We're not getting any EXP for this. We're not getting any kind of necessary item. It's just on the hopes that they drop a tasty tail that we can somehow consume to... Or a heart. We'll take a heart. Yeah, okay. We'll just eat that. Oh, let's... Oh, we should probably start mapping. Oh, there's a lot of animals here. Hang on. There's like so many things here. Oh, we're full. Okay, we don't want to eat anymore. We don't want to make ourselves gorged. Okay, we're in an overgrown plain. I think we've probably read this before, so I'm going to skip out on reading it. And now we're in a yawning plot of unkempt grass. This small plot of land sits forgotten behind the shack that blocks passage to the east. The marsh grasses here have been let to grow wild, and a number of brambly weeds have sprung up in inopportune spots. A small fishing hut lies to the east, its moldering siding showing no means of entry or exit. The mixture of grasses and weeds continues to the north and south, while the grass fades to reed westward. Oh, this is a backlot. Huh. A backlot of what? It says there was a... You see this spot on the map we can't quite get to? Like this little... Oh my gosh. The square right here. It seems to be that some kind of shack. Let's see if we can get into it. Now we're in a grassy plot. We lost our concentration in a fight against a rabbit. Twice? Oh boy. 3 times? This rabbit is just messing with us. It's getting in our head. Ew, guts. Alright. Sacrifice these guts to Allele. Seems like we're on the outskirts of some kind of plain surrounding the shack. Is this new? A small, thickly grassed plot. There are more grasses here than there are reeds, yet prickly and thorny weeds abound. Standing nearly a foot taller than the calf-high marsh grass, many of the weeds are crested with deep purple flowers. A small path follows the southern wall of the hut to the north, while the weeds and grass continue to north and east. To the south, the ground sinks nearly a foot downward, and the reeds take hold. We don't want to go south, so we're going to go east. See if we can find a way inside this shack. A path between two shacks. A path here slips between the crooked house to the southeast and the hut to the north. A barrel sits here, collecting rainwater from the roof of the northern hut, keeping the ground dry compared to the mud around it. The grass which lines the path has been trampled a dead color of burnt umber. A full-grown marsh is to the west. Behind the northern hut, southward, a general goods store shares its space with a deep-set marsh. The village is to the east. The village? Oh, right, the fisherman village. I think I remember this. Hey, we're in the village. Okay. In a fishing village, a few wild plants have broken through the solidly packed clay dirt here, clinging to the baseboards of the store cabin to the south. The village continues toward the north and east, its hard dirt ground broken only in a few places by plant or puddle. A small path wends between the southern store of the house to the northwest, leading off into the wild reeds which are prevalent about the lake. A human villager walks around town. So I think, is this our first predominantly human town we found? A brown frog hops about here. Let's lower that frog count. Let's kill that frog. Oh yeah, buddy. Now we're in a fisherman's shanty. Cluttered with personal belongings, this fisherman's living quarters are incredibly messy. The bone remains of a number of fish lie in a bucket, releasing a rank odor into the air. The wet remnants of yesterday's fishing gear are slumped into a corner, where the floorboards have turned a sickly mildew black. An uneven cot stands across from this, one of its legs replaced by a stack of mud bricks. The flat table which runs along the southern wall is nigh invisible due to the highly stacked mass of dirty plates, half-eaten food, and used rags which lay upon it. The walls and floorboard of the room are untreated, their natural wood color tinted with green in spots. A door in the eastern wall is the only means of exit. An old bachelor fisherman sits here, comfortable in his mess. I'm glad he's comfortable, because his living conditions sound terrible. Here's a fishing supply store. This one-room shack has been converted from a living quarter into a minute store. What once were cupboards now hold hundreds of bent metal hooks, curved fishing spears, and bottles upon bottles full of worms. The wall facing the once kitchen area is entirely devoid of decoration, save for a line of fishing rods and pikes set neatly in a row. Near the back of the store, a simple wooden crate, similar to those used by farmers to cart about their produce, sits on its end, blocking off access to the back third of the room to customers. The door to the store to the east sits open, leading back into the Jarus Square. Oh cool, they call it the Jarus Square, so this whole place is kind of just Jarus. Well, that lends credence to the fact that the Lithling freehold is very small indeed. It's just this place up here, and here you have this whole big lake, as well as a Jarus fishing village. A fisherman sits behind the counter, looking quite bored. Maybe we can get a list from him. "I'm closed, get out of here," he says. What's the time? Oh, it is midnight. It's probably not the best time to go shopping. I suppose we'll have to wait a bit and come back to see what he sells. Maybe he sells things that actually let us catch those fish. That would be fun. I was a little disappointed that we could spend all that time in the water, but we couldn't actually catch the fish. Seems the map got moved inappropriately one space to the west, so we're gonna fix that here. Inappropriately. Is that it? It looks like it. Okay. A brown-clad Ethron man whistles as he wanders about town. So, what the devil is going on here with the mapper? At least this one will be easier to fix. It really doesn't want to link those two rooms. What's going on here? The rooms themselves, what? It's getting very befuddled in that room. We might as well just manually connect those. I'm sure that's how it works. Since the computer is being... the script, rather, is being very difficult. Okay, let's test this. What on earth? It keeps jumping us for some reason. Why is it doing that? Alright, let's match the exits. So here we have north, east, south, west, which is correct. We go north one more time, we have northeast, southwest, which is also correct. But it's not, it doesn't want to take us back to the 986 for some reason. The descriptions of the rooms must be so similar that it's having a hard time distinguishing between the two. Which is annoying because clearly, well, whatever. So if we go north one more time, we have another northeast, southwest. Yeah, it just gets very confused there. I'm not sure how to fix that. There probably isn't a real good way to. Okay. At least it's consistently taking us from there to there, so I'm going to start mapping here. And we'll at least go this way, and that'll map correctly. Wait. Oh, we completed a quest. Oh, this is Jarrus Square. Oh, right. Jasa Lake and Jarrus Square are two different names. That's okay. We had a quest to reach this place, though. Okay, the center of... Wait. Hang on, I have one idea why this might not be working. For some reason... it named the rooms incorrectly, and that's why we're having trouble. I'm not sure what... Did we get a prompt that threw things off? This is going to be annoying to look for. Sorry guys, I'm going to skim this really quickly and look for a prompt, because if we fix this earlier, it's going to be better than fixing it later. So what I'm betting happened is when we moved to a new area, it fired a prompt that we didn't have added to our map ignore. So we have this one, gain 1 exploration point and 2 experience points. I'm pretty sure that one's added. You gain 1 exploration point and 2 experience points. Well, that's the only prompt I'm seeing. So why didn't it work? Curious. Okay, hang on. Let's check our map ignore scripts. You gain 1 exploration point and 2 experience points. There it is, right there. For some reason, it just didn't do it. I don't know why. I should probably use the scroll bar. Okay, scroll bar is not working. Okay. I'm gonna have to remap this. I don't want to, but we don't want the rooms to be called "You have 213 HP. That's not a valid room name. Yeah, I'm not really sure why that happened. I figure one day we'll just have everything so mapped that we'll be able to just create a character and just go anywhere. Hopefully this works. There we go. And we should be able to travel through these rooms now. Excellent. Perfect. Perfecto. Okay. Now where were we? I think we were going this way. Oh, right. We had just discovered Jossa Square and we got the EXP finished somewhere. Here we go. You gained or reached Jossa Square complete 100 experience points. Wow. That's nothing. The center of the lazy village, Jar Square, is by far the most lively area of town. Nearly surrounded by houses, the small paved square is home to a meager wooden fountain, which provides the villagers with fresh, potable water. The shanties that line the square seem to stare at the fountain blankly, their mildewy facades yawning. The relatively large building to the east is the most modern of the buildings, a ragged, poorly carven wooden leaf hanging above its door. The pavement of the square hugs closely to the base of the fountain. The hard-packed, muddy ground of the village continues to the north, south, and west. A wooden fountain provides a clean water source to the village. A stout woman heads off to her chores. Well, it's good to have a water supply that we don't have to go back to Var Bandor to get. The rest of this just looks like a fishing village. Do we want to signify the water here? I feel like maybe we should. I don't really have a good color to signify water. I guess I'll do this one. It's technically different. It's not perfect. There's a lot of blue on this map already. Kind of don't like it. Maybe yellow? Nah, I feel like yellow is like warning. Don't go here. Whatever. We'll do yellow. A human villager trips on a rock nearly hid, I see. Near hid in the dirt, muttering to himself. Still in a fishing village. Yeah, a lot of this just seems to be plain fishing village. A young siren slinks through here. In an opening in the reeds, a veritable wall of reeds encircles this area, breaking in a number of spots where footpaths have been trampled through them. The ground is damp yet well packed, allowing a smooth yet slick passage for adventurers on foot. A few paths through the reeds branch off here, one leading toward the lake northward and another heading toward a pair of ramshackle huts eastward. A path toward the village leads off to the west, while a wild mass of plant life is south here. The village is to the west. Oh, right, that makes sense. It said there were some shacks to the east. Let's look at the Siren. We can speak to him, can't we? The Siren child is approximately the size of a human child, yet appears to be quite more animal than one. It claws on its hands and feet. Oh, sorry. Its claws on its hands and feet are oversized, evidence that it will probably be large when it grows older. It slinks about quietly in the grass, blending in almost perfectly with its surroundings. We have no desire to murder a young Siren child, so we'll just leave him to it. Now we're in a marshy plot overrun by reeds. This area of marsh is entirely covered by assorted grass, weeds, and plant life. A few random stones are buried in the mud here, creating small pockets of space where the plants do not intrude. A small ramshackle house with wild rosebush clinging to its moldering surface stands to the east. The mass of plant life here thins slightly to the north, giving way to a small yet passable path. The marsh continues southward. There's another frog here. Oh, the frog fled. Can't say I blame it. To the west, finds ourselves behind a small shack. Marsh grasses and weeds cover the ground in this locale, rustling softly at any disturbance. Each blade of grass is crowned with a tasseled head and stands about 5 inches shorter than most of the lavender-capped weeds. A few brambles make their presence known, most of which cling to the back of the hut to the west. The back wall of the shack is mildewed and dirty, but is otherwise entirely featureless. A path leads through the plants toward the town to the north, while the flora grows more wildly to the east. Interesting, we are blocked from going further west. We'll have to go south first. In a reedy marsh. I think this is just another marsh description, so we're going to skip this one. And we're back in the fishing village. Looks like we got a little confused there. Hang on. Okay. We'll just manually connect these. That seems like the right path. Congratulations, guys! We're on room 1000. You have suffered through your host, Chezni, or suffered through listening to your host, Chezni, read you through 1000 rooms. Congratulations. Applause to you. But yeah, actually, I think that's kind of a big accomplishment. 1000 rooms. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, I see. We were misaligned on the map. 983, 1000, 998. Looks good. Okay, this is getting a little frustrating. What's going on here? Why is it doing this? Do we have another room with a goofy name? I'm gonna have to check the room details here. Fishing village. Fishing village. Jar Square. Fishing village. These all seem to be mapped correctly as fishing villages. I don't know why. Perhaps it's simply because all of the names are so similar, the mapper does not quite know where to connect things, so we'll have to help it out here. Room 1000. Okay, hopefully this helps things out. Well, great, now it doesn't know where we are. Okay. What on earth? What on earth is going on here? Yeah, I think that's funny that we got 100 EXP for going into the Jara Square when we could harvest the mussels from the nearby wooden pillar and gain just as much EXP. It really doesn't like taking us to room 1000, and I don't know why. I don't know if there's an error here. Actually, I think there is. I think room 1000 doesn't exist. Guys, false alarm. We didn't get to 1000. I think there's a goofy room here that is like a ghost room. It doesn't actually exist. For some reason, they decided to make this skip one part of the grid, so it actually works like this. Look how silly that is. Why would anyone do that? Everything else in this entire map has been grid for grid. And this singular room throws us over to... Okay, false alarm. We're going to get room 1000 in just a second. Alright. Gotta add this in. Okay, we should be good. We're good. There we go. Room 1000. Reheda's parlor. Rahida? I'm gonna say Rahida. Kind of like Daedalus. No, wait. No, that disproves my point. It would be Raheda. This large parlor room is by far one of the most elaborate in the Jaris community, but remains Spartan by even Caladeran standards. Its wooden walls are painted a soothing green color, a testament to the extravagance found here. A large assortment of herbs, oh boy, I said it like a Brit. Herbs lie across the long, unpainted counter, each set into its own small compartment. The ceiling's rafters had at one point been left uncovered, but leaves and vines have grown up to cover them. A single candled sconce hangs on the wall, bathing the room in a soft luminescence. Another room lies mostly cordoned off to the east, while the central square of the city lies westward. Raheda, the village's herbalist and healer, tends to her domain. She tells us, "A traveler, would you hear my request?" Sure, but we need to grab a bite to eat first because we are apparently hungry. Sure, so how do we do this? We say yes. Raheda tells us some Siren has settled nearby to the east and have hatched a number of clutches. I'm assuming that's Siren for, like, batch of children. I'm sure clutches is used in other things. Their lot grows much more rapidly than ours, and I worry for the future of Jaris. If you could thin their number by perhaps 10 or so, I will reward you. What kind of crazy herbalist is this lady? I'm not gonna go murder a random... No! What? This is inherently evil. I don't care. Okay, hold on. Let's look at this herbalist. Let's judge the morality of Raheda here. What kind of crazy, heartless... Okay, the devoted Caladeran healer, yeah, right, murderer more like it, of the Jaris community. Raheda is an extraordinarily tall woman among small people. She moves with practiced grace. Yeah, probably practiced grace so she can slip daggers into the backs of Siren babies just as they're hatched, and handles her supplies with utmost care, curating a useful assortment of natural remedies for the village. Physically, she is quite lanky, with two peaceful green eyes set... Peaceful! set deeply into her bark-like face. Much of her figure, however, remains obscured beneath a wide brown robe, held together by a carved leaf clasp. Are you sure that's a carved leaf clasp, or is it the bones of the victims of the helpless Siren eggs that you're just massacring on the stones? Or smashing against the stones. Her attire bears the sigil of the Saliera healers. However, it has been elaborated upon with an intricate mesh of vines and plant life. Oh, the arrogance. Raheda is in excellent condition. She has a brown cloak and a gnarled staff of maple. What is this woman's power? Probably far beyond ours, but yeah, she would be able to murder us. I don't like this lady. Is this going to be stuck on our task list now? Oh my gosh, it is. No, we're not. We will never kill your Sirens, lady. It's called life. It's called natural biology. It's called too bad if you're the minority. You got to deal with it. You can't just murder the people before they get. If Sirens couldn't talk, if they were unintelligent, cattle or something, fine, I get it. But Sirens are in this world people. I'm not going to go kill people for you. I don't care how fast they're populating the area. My goodness. I just can't believe how casually she just asked us to do that. Okay, east is a cot-filled room. This large room is lined with 6 cots, all of whose heads are oriented near the wall, while their feet are near an open walkway. The walls are painted a comforting green color, and the room itself is illuminated only by a single candle sconce, which hangs on the northern wall. The rafters left uncovered by the building's builders have become inhabited by a number of wandering vines grown in from the outside. A glassless window covered with a gauzy piece of fabric lies to the eastern wall. The door to the parlor lies to the west. A sick fisherman lies in here, skin covered in sun sores. Well, I'm glad you helped friggin' human fisherman, you callous witch. I don't want to be here anymore. This place is awful. Yeah, forget this place. We're gonna go see, what time is it? It's 11 p. Gosh darn it, we missed our window to buy some fishing supplies. We will come back for the fishing supplies, and that is it. Healer my butt. Good grief. Is there a way to quit tasks? Hold on. This place is too hostile for that. I think it's just actually trying to have us quit the game. It doesn't look like there's an option to... There is no consequence for failing a task. Should you wish to end a task prematurely, perhaps you do not wish to do it after all, type complete without fulfilling the conditions of the task. Okay, complete. Oh. Hold on. I'm not gonna be your child murderer, lady. I cannot make you do anything you do not wish to do, Tolaris. Come back if you decide to indulge my concerns. Yeah, kiss my ass, lady. Okay. We're now... Sorry about that. That was... That's spooky. Like... Really, I get it, it's a video game, but I'm not gonna... I think even Tolaris would get upset at that. Like, as much of a coward as he is. Especially because he speaks Siren. Like, legitimately, Taurus loves anything to do with fire magic, and Sirens were the one who shared fire magic with the humans in the history of, Avendar. Whew. Okay, shake it off, shake it off. Let's Let's just continue mapping the rest of this. I'm sure it'll be okay. I doubt the marshes continue for much longer. We're in a deep marsh. The ground sinks here, water seeping into the depressions made by the footprints of a myriad of animals and adventurers. I think we've already read this one, so we're going to keep going. Oh, this is a small shop. This building is about the same size as the other homes in the village, yet it was obviously built for its current purpose. Racks of shelving cover the walls, while a small glass case, held together simply by pine wood rods, sits near the back. The shelves are stocked with the trappings of everyday life: pots, pans, oils, lamps, flour, and so on. Inside the glass case are kept the more precious items for sale, specifically a few hunting and scaling knives, and a number of small glass beads. The exit to the store lies through the door to the north, where the rest of the village sits. A well-aged woman sits here, smiling happily. Can we get a list? She says, "Sorry, we're closed. Come back at 7. Here we're between two buildings. A full 2-foot drop from the clay-like ground to the north. The mud here is very thick and is covered with plants. Two buildings crowd out this small break in the landscape to the east and west. The building to the east sits at a precarious angle, with its lower half nearly swallowed up by the ravenous swamp mud. Little in the way of support remains below the crooked half, save a few tall rocks which have sunk most of the way into the mire. The building to the west appears to be quite stable, supported by 2 tall wooden poles which disappear into the muck. The reeds and plants have become impassable to the south, yet Mount Enrian is visible in the distance above them. A horned lizard plods slowly through the grass. Well, we're hungry, and that lizard looks tasty. See, again, I wouldn't have a problem if the lady was like, "Hey, the horned lizard population is getting out of hand. Can you take care of that?" Because horned lizards, for all intents and purposes, aren't people. Nor would we have the ability to communicate with them and say, "Hey, kindly don't overpopulate and run the area out of resources." Crooked house. Everything in this house is slightly angled to the rear, and its foundations seem highly unstable. The inhabitants of this house seem to have adjusted quite well to this, for the furnishings in the house accommodate this unevenness. The cupboards which surround the front exit are held fast with looped hinges, while the legs of the table near the rear have been bolted to the ground. The 2 cots in the very back are the only break from the angular nature of this house, their sleeping surfaces held parallel to the ground by piles of wooden panels beneath their lower legs. The only exit from the shack lies through the door to the north. A thin Ethron woman walks gingerly around her house, attempting to keep it balanced. A thin Ethron woman shifts the beds in the corner, trying to keep them to stand flat. That's unfortunate. Is this woman a main character? The thin Ethron woman seems very concerned about the state of her house. Despite the fact that it is obviously quite precariously balanced, she seems to have taken great pains to keep things as straight as possible. Her nervousness and the speed of her movements seem to be the source of her thinness. Her skin is rather, I think that's a bit of a typo, is a rather dark green color, and her long brown hair is pulled into a neat braid which hangs down her back. A thin Ethron woman is in excellent condition. She has a broom. Well, we'll leave her to it. In her crooked house. And here the marsh continues to the west. Sorry, the east. It is now 6 a.m. Seems very close to the time when this store would open, so we'll just hang around here and wait for the time to pass. Alright, happy birthday, Talaris. We are now a 30-year-old man, having pushed our college years far behind us and traveled the world in a bit of a scruff manner. Being taken in by the monastery, we were able to support ourselves to go out into the world and see and map certain areas that we had not yet explored. Man, I got the hiccups. Hang on one moment. Sorry about that. Okay, let's get a list here. We can get a jug, an oil lamp, or a loaf of tough bread. How much money do we have on us? 7 gold. We wouldn't be able to buy a ton of bread. I wonder, do we have anything that this lady would be interested in buying? We have the zebra muscles. We do have the fox pelts. Can we sell the pelts to her? Nope. She doesn't seem interested. We don't really have much in the way of things to trade, so I'm not going to buy her bread. Ah, here we go. This guy sells a fishing spear, a fishing rod, and a fishing net. I wonder if we can identify the items before buying them. No. Well, they're not that expensive. Let's buy the spear. A bored fisherman merchant hands you the spear with a nod, noting, "You can use that for spearing some fish in the lake, but you've got to be fast." It is a weapon, 2d6, but we're not proficient in spears. So what else do we have here? A rod? Let's buy the rod. You know, you can use that on the lake. Just cast out the line and wait for something to bite. He adds and he smirks and adds dryly, but you may have to work a bit of patience before you catch anything. Okay, what about the net? He hands you the net, noting, if you cast your net into the lake, you'll probably catch a few things after a time. Well, this looks fun. Let's go back to the lake. This is kind of what I wanted to do. Wait, a rusty bucket sits here? Why is there a rusty bucket? Let's look in bucket. Whoa, there's a bunch of fish in here. Well, we probably shouldn't take it. That would be mean. It's kind of funny, because if we... Oh! We're quite close to gaining a level. I forget, as time passes, your character will just sort of gain experience points. Yeah, we're pretty close to gaining a level, though. Okay, let's go fishing. Let's cast our net first. What if we use net? Throw. Okay, hold on. How does this work? What does this guy say? Let's see here. If you cast that net into the lake, that's what we're doing. What if we just look at our net? Obviously created for marine use, this net is unweighted, yet has 2 firm holds for the caster to grip upon. Use net. Lake? Use net. Cast net. Lake? I feel like when we're typing in cast net, what it's doing is trying to search our list of spells to see if we can cast a spell called net, which is not what we want. What if we just drop the net? Is that how that works? Cast fishing rod? You don't know any spells of that name. Hang on, wait a minute. Take net. when we cast the net, it didn't tell us that we didn't have anything on that of that name. We're just not getting a prompt. So maybe casting the net is exactly what we need to be doing, perhaps. But you would think there would be some kind of, I don't know, cast net, take net. Oh, we're stuck. We fell into the water. Okay, so there's a fisherman here, so surely we can catch fish here. I don't know. Hold on, we're hungry, so we need to get something to eat anyway. Oh, we're kind of out of everything, aren't we? Shoot. I suppose we will have to go buy some bread. It's a bit expensive, but oh, we're full? It's expensive, but very filling, apparently. Okay, let's go back over here to this fisherman. And see if we can imitate him. Now this is interesting. When we're not on the lake, it says we don't know any spells of that name, but when we're on the lake and we cast the net... What? Now it's saying we don't know any spells of that name. I'm very confused. What if we use fishing net? Oh, this is frustrating. Let's try our luck with the rod. What if we use fishing rod? How does this work? Maybe we have to equip it. Equip, or wait. Wear net. You stopped using a banded iron shield. You hold a fishing net in your hand. Cast net. You cast the net into the waters, keeping its grip in your hands. Here we go. Silly, foolish Chezni. You know you have to equip things to use them in Avendar. Okay, so I guess we just kind of hang around here. See, he did say we'd need to be patient. I'm getting cold. It's winter time. Oh yeah, also so my jacket has changed. It looks so different from my last one, right? You can totally tell. It's the same color. But we also gained an hour last night, so I'm up probably an hour before I should be. I don't know, does my computer track the time automatically? Since we're waiting on this fishing net, I'm just gonna Google what time it is around. I don't even know what time it is. What time? Yeah, okay. Apparently my laptop automatically adds it in. Anyway, so we probably have... Wait, you feel your net shake once as if it's brushed past something significant. Well, what do we do? Do we reel in? In net? How do we do this? Come on, fisherman, give us your wisdom. Oh boy, it's like all the way up here. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. If you cast that net, and it just says you'll probably catch a few things. That's not helpful. The net shakes again. You can pull. Oh, pull it. Okay, pull net. You pull in your net, finding only a few strips of seaweed. Can we eat it? We have, well, we have a few strips of deep green seaweed. Let's see what this is. Identify seaweed. It is a food. Let's eat the seaweed. You eat the few strips of deep green seaweed, you are nearly full. The seaweed tastes very salty. So it's a saltwater lake. Is that a thing? Yeah, maybe. But like the Dead Sea is full of salt. Who cares? Cool. So we now know how to use the net. Let's equip the fishing rod. No. Where the rod? Okay, we've got the fishing rod with both hands. The fishing rod feels a little clumsy in your hands. What does it count as? Let's identify the rod. It doesn't say what it is. It's not a weapon type. Maybe our base stats are too low, like our dexterity. My dex is like 17. Of course, I forget we can go up to 25, so 17 isn't that high. Eh, whatever. Let's cast the rod. Okay, let's cast the fishing rod. Use fishing? Bless me. Oh, come on. How do we do this? We figured out the net. I'm sure we can figure out this. Oh, right. I forgot we were wearing a beekeeper's hat. Great. Well, we're using it to keep out the mosquitoes, right? I mean, we're just protecting our face. Cast. Well, that's what it's called, though. When you cast out your line, you cast out the... I don't know how else to describe this. Oh, boy. Oh, flashes of lightning? Should we get out of the water? Is Avendar complex enough to simulate being in water when lightning strikes? Or is it just flavor? Let's find out. Rest in peace, Talaris, should he get struck by lightning. Okay, I hate to do this, but I think we have to go back up and see what the fisherman told us. Okay, he says, you know, you can use that, hold on, out on the lake, just cast out the line. Cast which, what, where? Cast line? There we go. You cast out your line, which hits the water with a soft splash. Okay, and we'll wait here. Hopefully we'll get lucky and find some food. I wonder if we need any bait. Not like we have any worms. You know, we do have that fishing spear. We could dive down into the water and test our luck with the spear. Might be one way to do it. Of course, we could steal all that fish from the boy who stuck it in the rusty pail. It's a great way to get tetanus. Do we get anything for hitting 14? We get something called deny entropy. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. You feel a tugging on your line, so your hook has met its mark. Oh, let's reel in the line. You reel in your line, fighting against what's beneath the waters. You pull in a few strips of seaweed. Oh, this is frustrating. At least we can eat the seaweed. Okay, that's it. We're taking matters into our own hand. Let's eat these mussels. And then let's dive. Oh, right. Let's go down. Okay, let's equip the spear. No, no, where spear? You stop using a fishing rod, you wield the fishing spear. You don't even know which head is up on the fishing spear. It's true, we're probably not skilled at this at all. Now, how do we use this? Spear fish? Spear minnow? I think once again we're gonna have to scroll up and find where the fisherman told us how to use this. You can use that for some spearing some fish on the lake, but you've got to be fast. Spearfish? Seems like that's doing something. I don't quite know what. Spear trout. What if we just kill the trout? Your impalement misses a trout. Perhaps this is how we do it. Although we're very bad at fighting a trout. The trout's pathetic fin scratches you. We might be here for a little while trying to hit this thing with a spear. A very long while. I figure this trout must be, like, weak, right? It's probably not gonna take that many hits. I'm hoping to just get one hit here. It's not gonna kill us. I don't think we're in any danger of dying. Oh, we got it! Your pitiful impalement slaughters a trout. Ow, but we just destroyed the corpse. We didn't actually get it. Maybe we don't need to be in the water. Maybe we just spear. Oh, okay. You just have to do it out of the water. You thrust your spear beneath the water, but miss your mark. Oh, we hit a fish. You thrust your spear into the water, hitting a fish square on. Oh, we're very delayed here. Oh, we got another fish. What the? Are you serious? Dude! We have a large trout. Oh, 2 large trout. Okay, clearly spearfishing is the way to go. Very much spearfishing is the way to go here. Let's identify the trout. It is a large trout. What if we just eat the trout? I mean, are we gonna get sick? You eat the large trout. You are full. Holy crap! Guys, we found another great food source. Okay, so let's go back and see if we can sell the net and the... Okay, we're gonna sell the net. Can't do that here. Okay, we're just gonna drop the net. And we'll drop the rod. You can just have him back. That's fine. We didn't pay that much for him. But we're holding on definitely to this fishing rod. Oops, went too far. Okay. So this is another fantastic place for low-level people to go for several reasons. For starters, you can harvest these clusters, which I know they don't give you a ton of EXP, but harvesting 4 clusters will net you 100 EXP without any combat whatsoever. And you can see here, even though we're not really like a super low level, well, we're pretty low. We're level 13. You can see here, if we harvest 3 more clusters, we're going to gain a level. So anyway, you can harvest these clusters for EXP. There's plenty of weak wildlife around to kill, and if you need food, you can just spearfish in the lake. This is an engine right here to generate food and EXP. Not gold, though, sadly, but a pretty guaranteed way. Assuming that spearfishing doesn't have some kind of yeah, look at that. We suck at using the spear, but apparently we just got another fish. I mean, this is just about as, yeah, like another fish. That's more than a 50% accuracy, which is fine by me. It's way faster than using the fishing rod. So we basically don't have to worry about food here either now. And arguably, I would say that this is an even better way of fishing, or rather gathering food, than trying to search the monastery, because the monastery takes a while. The monastery is still not bad, and if you're over on that side of the map, it's way better than walking all the way to Jossa Lake. That's awesome. Okay. We just gotta remember to wear a dagger again and wear a shield. Our humming shield, which I still don't know what it does. Is it still humming? Yeah, it's still humming. Heaven knows what it does. Sweet. So we're good to go exploration-wise for, well, an infinite amount of time as long as we're around Jossa Lake. Let's get to mapping then. Okay, we're in an overgrown path. The dirt here was once well packed. I think we read this already. A half overgrown path. Fancy. An intersection of overgrown paths. This is getting silly. Oh, this is where all the sirens are. The sirens that we're not going to hurt. Ooh, we're at a dilapidated hut. The overgrown path to the east and south opens here before a seemingly abandoned hut. Originally much like the homes of Jar's village to the southwest, this hut seems to have been subjected to a number of floodings. Its walls bow at the bottom, and the wood of the building is stained, cracking, and moldering all over. The area around here looks as if it was once part of the village, but has been overrun with plants for many years. A number of reptilian footprints pock the mud, giving it an uneven appearance. The doorless frame to the east leads into the hut, and a particularly dense wall of reeds blocks passage to the north. A young siren slinks through here. A bulky male siren has arrived from the east. A bulky male siren leaves west. East leads us into the hut. The walls of this hut are almost entirely rotted through. Is it bowing or bowing? I think it's bowing. Bowing out near the bottom. A narrow window opens to the north, through which a number of reeds have poked their tasseled heads. Little light filters into the room save from the door frame to the west and a rather large hole in the northeast corner of the roof. Water drips from the hole in the roof, keeping the ground uneven and perpetually damp. Reptilian footprints cover the mud in small, water-filled craters and a few dodgy... What? Alright, slow down. For some reason I'm like suffering on this, reading this description. A few body-shaped divots are sunk deep in the mud in the northwest corner. A boarded-up door blocks passage to the east. A blue jay flits about in here. A young siren slinks through here, and an emerald-scaled female siren crouches here. I don't think we've ever seen a female siren. Siren child is... Okay, we've already read the... Covered with emerald green scales, much the same color as the reeds which dominate the area, this siren woman blends in well with her natural surroundings. Within any structure, however, she sticks out rather obviously. Oh, can't go to the east because the door is closed. I wonder if they'll be upset if we open it. It's locked. We don't want to mess with that. Between two dilapidated huts, the pathway here appears perilous, for the huts to the north and south appear highly unstable. Each building bows out near its bottom, their moldering woods burdened by the weight of their hole-marked roofs. Roofs? Each wall has an unevenly cut hole in itself, giving a view to the squalor within. The only means of exit from this precarious situation are to the east, where a grassy knoll rises, and to the west, where your view is obscured by plant life. This is a grassy knoll where the ground rises to a knoll here, the top of which is covered with a hard, dry clay. Relatively short grasses that sway with every breath of wind grow around on its crest. A tree stands to the south end of the knoll, heralding a more ruggedly woody terrain. At the north end, the ground dips downward and becomes thickly covered with plants. A path is westward between two dilapidated houses. We'll probably need to extend this because take into account the room to the north. Behind a dilapidated hut, a thin strip of land lies between the hut to the east and the knoll to the south. Grasses and reeds spring up around and behind the hut, almost entirely obscuring the boarded-up door along the back wall of the moldering building. A few rocks poke through the surface of the mud here, making the area somewhat passable. The reeds and grasses become entirely impassable to the north and east, blocking passage. Yes, I believe that's what impassable means. Seems that there's a door here. We could try to open it. It's locked. Okay. Oh, a rugged marsh. The marsh begins to turn into a forest here. A single thin tree stands to the north and casts a gentle swaying shadow on the ground. Woody brush grows all about in the form of tangled bushes, which serve to make passage on foot quite difficult. The bushes rise into a high thicket to the east, effectively blocking passage. A grass-covered knoll lifts itself from the mud to the north, while the woody marsh continues southward. The back of a dilapidated hut stands rotten and featureless to the east. We should cast wings so it's easier to move. Just seems like a rugged marsh dominates this locale. And we're in the second hut. It seems to have a similar description as the other, with the difference being that there is no extra exit to the east. Yeah, there's just this whole village here of Sirens. Talaris would never murder all these people. Another dilapidated shack. Rotted and moldering, the walls of this shack seem barely to stand on their tenuous foundation. Half sunk into the ground, the twisted and rotting timbers are covered with lichens and mildews, revealing the age of the structure. Wet reptilian footprints have been left over the muddy floor of the shack. Beams of light filter in from a hole in the northern wall, while a doorless frame marks an exit to the west. Whoa, there's a bunch of ducks here. In a muddy marsh, the mud here lies 4 inches lower than the areas surrounding it. Reeds and marsh grasses dominate, but have been curled into a rather large bird's nest on the ground, creating a wide open space that is cradled by plants. A few trampled plants surround the nest, evidence of recent activity. Reeds and grasses continue to the north, south, and west, while the plant life to the east is dense enough to be impassable. There are several yellow ducklings plodding around here determinedly, and a mother duckling is here tending her children. A mother duckling A mother duck digs about in the dirt, producing a worm. A mother duck passes the worm to her ducklings, who pounce on it hungrily. A yellow duckling flaps its tiny wings, trying to take flight. Seems like a pleasant place. We have no need to kill the ducklings, so we'll just leave them alone. I'm going to put a color here to signify the ducks. I don't know if red is the right color. Red means like don't go here. I think I am going to have to convert this one to blue for the water. Okay. Well, aside from this strange room that we can't actually get into, it seems that there are no more new areas to travel around in. We've explored all of the Lythling freeholds, as well as all of the Jasa Lake and Jarus Village. Congratulations, guys. Pat yourselves on the back. And we figured out how to fish, which is so cool. Hey, we've been promoted. You gain 9 hit points, 6 movement, and 3 practices. No MP. Oh, 15 MP. Alright, we're level... Wait, why are we still level 14? I thought we were already level 14. I'm a bit confused. We'll have to take a look at that. Okay, sorry. Was resetting the map there. Yeah, I thought we were already level 14. Were we level 13? I'm gonna bring up a previous score panel. Oh no, we were level 13. I'm just an idiot. Wow. That means we've only gained 4 levels since leaving the college. Never mind, we are definitely a low level. Oh, right. So I don't really need any more fish, but I figure we might as well grab some for the journey that inevitably we will be going on. Where do we go from here? I guess we could go back into the Nendorn Forest. We've already explored all of that, sans the mushroom areas, which don't seem like a pleasant place to be. Oh, of course! We need to go up to Irendam from the Aryan Plains. Ooh, we're missing a lot here. Perhaps there is some kind of limitation to the fish you can acquire. We have 6 of them. Let's see if we're missing quite a bit now. Perhaps there is a ecosystem mechanic that prevents you from fishing out the area. Yeah, we went from having over a 50% success rate to a very low success rate. Oh, we can't spear fish here. Oh, there we got one. Oh, well, 7 fish will be plenty of fish. Deny entropy. What is that? So we got this spell called Deny Entropy. A fire scholar of even the most minor skill may ward items against effects that might instantly destroy them, such as being on fire, shattered, etc. This will provide no defense against ordinary wear and tear on a weapon or the deliberate use of the destroy command. It lasts 8 hours. Okay, so if we ever need to protect our things from being lit on fire, we now have the ability to do so. Yeah, that kills me. It kills me that by going up 1 square, we go up all of those water squares. It's very bizarre. Wait, why can't we go north? Wait, what? Wait, that's wrong. We can't go back north. Hang on, is this another one of those goofy one direction only things? Oh my goodness. Life things freehold, please. No, there's just no connection there from the north to the... Why is that even on the map? How did that get added? Okay. Wait. It's not... What? Hold on. Oh, it says we need to go east. Wait, what? So it's like that. I must have mapped this poorly at some point. Alright, let's just fix this, so it's not confusing us later. Oh, I accidentally layered... Okay, that's what happened. I accidentally layered some rooms on top of themselves. Wait, did I? What is going on here? Okay, I think that fixes it. There were some goofy things going on with the mapping, but I think we're good now. Yeah. Okay. I almost want to go back to Avendar. For no real reason. I just feel like it's our home. Like, it feels wrong to have spent so much time away from it. Okay, if memory serves, this leads to some forest that is super dangerous, and this leads to some place that I don't even know what. Let's just go to Irendam. I've wanted to map that place for a while now. Oh, this isn't mapping correctly. I don't think. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we have another instance where one room is traveling to 2. There are 4 arrows to the south here. Oh wait, this is a new place. Oh no, I think I mapped it incorrectly. Gosh darn it. That leads there. Oh, for the love of so many things. Well, let's take it one step at a time. 768 obviously leads to 872. We're gonna get a lot of practice casting wings. For some reason I have that mapping to 767, which is incorrect. It's 768. That's completely wrong. I don't know why it's doing that. We fixed all the other parts. But that does not happen. 870 needs to go to 766. For some reason it's linked to 659. Okay, crisis averted, problem solved. So where does 771 actually lead to? Down here. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, no worries. No worries! Take it easy. We do need to fix this, though. Okay. Apparently there's this section of the Dantarn River that we don't have mapped yet. So we're just gonna mosey along the Dantarn. Maybe find something cool. This is all just the Dantarn. Ooh, what is it doing? What on earth? Okay. I don't know what's going on anymore. Wait, we're at the Avendar docks. I've gotten very lost. Okay, we made it back. That was very confusing. Let's try this again. So what happened there is we were floating around the river, and I got very lost on the river as we were traveling, and the mapper was trying to pick us up in places in Avendar, which I'm pretty sure is incorrect. The Dontarn shouldn't connect to Avendar in this direction. It should connect to Avendar. Yeah, this is making a lot more sense here. And now we're at the docks of Avendar. So preemptively, I'm going to stretch these out. It's probably not going to be perfect, but it should begin to give us an idea of what this really looks like. It seems like in Avendar, traveling by water is at least double the speed of traveling by ground, even though we're in the air. And somehow we ended up on the docks of Avendar. So I'm sure I'm going to backtrack, and I'm sure if we go back into the city proper, we'll eventually find our way here to the docks. And again, this probably isn't really accurate, but this is just going to help us remember that there is a difference in how the movement of these squares is perceived by the game, or rather is matched to a grid. Okay. Is that the wrong color? That's the wrong color. There we go. Oh no, I forgot to stop mapping. Gosh. Calmness is what we have here. Okay. No harm, no foul. So we're just going to go through the Aryan Plains. Oh, hang on. Oh, this is royally perplexing. I bet if we go down, we end up over there. Oh my goodness. Oops. Great. Now we have to figure out how to do this, where we have technically two locations that are not adjacent to each other because one is below the other, but the game doesn't treat it as if, because while on the river we never initiated the down command, the game doesn't see us as having actually gone down a level. And there's probably no way to easily put this into the game. I think then we just keep it like it is. So we can go up and pop up there, and that doesn't make a ton of sense, but whatever. It'll have to work. Oh no. Perhaps we should force the river to go down at some point. Cartography. Okay, we can do this. Okay, we're gonna shift all of these down. Okay, we have an X and Y and a Z coordinate. I believe the Z coordinate should be if we do -1. Okay. Okay, it looks kind of funky. But here's how it works. It essentially simulates that the river at some point goes somehow underneath the plains and then under the docks. Oh, I shouldn't do it like that. Because now it looks like the river connects to 687. Let's move them down just one more. Okay, boy, is that weird. Because you never initiate the down order, right? But the river clearly goes down below. So what happens now is if we go down like this, you need a boat. Okay, hold on. Let's cast wings. Now if we go down, the river is down here, and it comes out like that. That seems weird, but that's just the way we have to do it. Cool. Well, let's continue to map the outskirts of the Irendam docks. I feel like if this is going to be considered the Irendam docks, we should make this part of Irendam. Yeah. So let's start mapping in a new area, and we'll call it Irendam. Perfect. Oh, that's weird. That's okay. We'll just grab all these and move them over. I don't think the game knows where we are anymore. It's very confused. Okay, good. It's realigned again. Perfect. And I think I'm gonna add this area to Irendam because why not? It doesn't need to be part of the Aryan Plains. It'll also add that nice little arrow, so it'll be more obvious that we're going to a new area. Okay, this is not where we are. The mapper always gets totally bewildered anytime we go on this river. It's probably because there's so much of the river that looks the same. There we go. It's back on track. Okay. Now that that's all been sorted out, let's go explore Irendam. The western outskirts of Irendam. Beyond the bare ground of the city walls begin the grasslands of Irendam, a vast sea of vegetation that stirs and whispers softly in the breeze. The long Irendam grasses grow to your waist, and so densely as to slow your progress through the area. The walls of the city Irendam are visible nearby to the east. But it's a good thing we're flying, because I don't think we're affected by the grasses. Ooh, now we have entered the northern outskirts of Irendam. Beyond the bare ground of the city walls begins the grassland of Irendam, a vast sea of vegetation. Okay, I think we already read this. Yeah, it's the exact same description. It's just considered to be the northern outskirts. Oh, now we're in the grasslands. We want to be careful, so we don't want to go any further. Northern outskirts, northern outskirts. We'll do it like mowing the grass. We'll get an outside view of the place, and then we'll go into the city proper. Seems we found a road here. The Irendam Road, a narrow strip of stones that leads north into the grasslands. The Irendam Road was once heavily traveled by caravans trading with the mountain outposts to the north. It has since fallen into disuse, but is still nominally maintained by Irendam. So the northern part of Irendam is not quite as upkept, apparently. It seems that Irendam might be a rectangle instead of a square. I feel like Var Bandor is very... It's not a perfect square, but it's very, like, properly proportioned. But the direction we're going with Irendam, it looks like it might be a rectangle. Oh, we can't go east anymore. Okay, south. Now we're on the eastern outskirts. This description is slightly different. Beyond the east walls of the city, a bare plain extends into the distance. To the east, the blue vastness of the Uthlin Ocean is visible, and to the north and south of the city stretch the Irendam grasslands. Now and then a breeze carries a distant smell of salt water from the east. Oh, wait, we missed a bridge. A bridge on the eastern outskirts. A stone bridge straddles the Dantarn River at this point, the placid waters flowing east out of the city. The granite walls of the city Irendam tower before you. To the west, their blocks well worn by the elements. Notches are carved near the tops of the battlements for watchmen to peer out at the ocean to the east of the city. And this is Uthlin Road. The Uthlin Road is a narrow strip of stones leading eastward toward the Uthlin Ocean. Maintained by the Irendam authorities, it cuts a path through the grass to the east, allowing merchants and caravans a route to the shore of the ocean. The faint smell of salt water is carried by the western breeze. I take it back. Irendam is quite long and tall. Oh, wait, we're in the grasslands. JK. Okay, here we go. This is where the southern outskirts of Irendam begin. Irendam seems much smaller than Varbandor. Varbandor was so confusing. Wait. Children? A bright red ball is here. A group of small children laugh and play in the tall grass. Cool. Well, I'll give it one thing. I think Irendam might be a good square. Except this part. Oh my gosh. Is it one square off? Oh my goodness. Either we missed a square, or Irendam is one square off. Which would be hilarious. Let's go test this. Okay. East. 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 Yeah. It's one square off. Alright. You were so close, Irendam. You were so close to being perfect. I'm a little nervous. I don't know if this works. So we should hit the Athran Road in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 norths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do. Okay. So it's all good. Okay. Well, let's go into the city. It seems that there are no walls surrounding the city, unlike Varbandor. Varbandor had those big walls and you can only get in from the north, south, east, and west. But here, I guess we just go straight into the city and start looking around. We'll start at the southwest corner. We are outside the southern wall of Irendom. The granite walls of the city of Irendom tower before you. To the northeast, their blocks well worn by the elements. Beyond, the grasslands of Irendom spread like a green sea. A section of the stone wall is discolored with grime. What? Let's examine the wall. I guess that's it. Oh, this is just all wall. Okay, so we get a bunch of pieces of outskirts, and then we get a bunch of walls? That's not going to leave very much room for the city itself. Wasn't Irendom, like, one of the cities we could have started out in? This one seems a lot smaller. Yeah, these are just sections of wall. Oh wait, we had fish there. A pile of worn fishing nets sits in the edge of the dock. Oh, this is that bridge. So this is slightly different. Since it's a bridge overlooking the Dontarn. Man, this is the Uthlin Road. Uh-oh. We might be in trouble here. Yeah, okay. I think we can do it like this. Maybe. Maybe that works. Now the real question is there the appropriate number of spaces going to the west from this location? To which I answer, I don't know. Judging by the fact that this leads south, though, I'm betting not. So we'll do it like that. Yeah. Cool. Well, it's going to be a little dull, but I'm going to come in here and add in all the connections between the rooms. So let's crisscross here. Oh, nuts. I went too fast. I was trying to space it out and go slow enough so this wouldn't happen. It's fine. I think the music is a little loud. Okay. Whew. We did it. This is Irendam. It seems that I was incorrect. There are only 4 entrances into Irendam. But seriously, Irendam has to be so much smaller than Varbandor. Like, already, it looks tiny by comparison. Kind of want to see what... Looks like we can go down. I'm assuming that if we go down, it's just more the river. It's odd because it seems like the river flows... Oh boy, it has no clue where we are right now. It's interesting because it seems like the river flows through the city, right? Because there's a bridge up here. So it seems like it flows like this. And at some point comes up out of the city like that. We'll worry about that later, though. For now, let's just get the city proper mapped here. Of course. Of course. Our first movement, and you would ruin everything. Thank you very much, map. Just trying to make sure the room names are correct. Sometimes the room... I think what happened there is it trying to map a room called the HP we had. I'm not sure what causes that. Let's try this again. Alright, the West Gate of Irendam. Irendam's west gates are made of sturdy iron, built between 2 tall stone pillars. Reinforcing these gates are several stout bars of iron, treated to preserve them from wear. Outside the gates, the Aryan Road heads west, cutting across the plains which give it its namesake. Inside, the Aryan Plaza opens, marking the beginning of Irendam proper. And 2 Irendam guards stand at attention. And we're in the Western Aryan Plaza. The Aryan Plaza comes to an end here as it approaches the western gates of Irendam. Travelers and merchants head out through this gate onto the Aryan Road, bringing goods to and from the lands to the west. Set in the northwestern portion of the city, the plaza is a square ringed on all sides by the buildings and walls of New Irendam, paved with cobblestones long worn smooth by the feet of travelers entering the city. From the Aryan Road, the center of the square lies eastward, where an ornate fountain serves as a resting place for the main body of the populace in the immediate area. Shops line the northern edge of the square, while southward the plaza eventually terminates in a stone wall. The northwestern Aryan Plaza is a corner of the Aryan Plaza that bustles with activity as it approaches the city walls of Irendam to the west. Travelers and merchants wander through the area, mainly heading to or coming from the west gate of Irendam to the south. The edge of the plaza lines a row of shops to the east, but comes to an end here, where a large inn sits in the crook between the city wall and the shops to the east, and is marked by the sign of a flagon and bedroll. There is a merchant bodyguard and a merchant that wanders around here. Seems like the game got stuck. We'll give it a moment. Ooh, we lost connection. That's fine. I'll give it a pause here, and I'll be back in a moment.